Hey everyone, thanks for joining in. Our video update today on Matic. I've got a couple things that I do want to discuss. But before I get started, of course, as always, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, manage your own risk, doing your own research. I'm only giving my opinion on the market, and also this market is obviously very extremely risky and volatile. And all right, so with that, let's talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about something that I was discussing in my video that I did an update on yesterday. So if you didn't get a chance to take a look at it, take a look at the video that I did yesterday where I was discussing, do I buy Matic at this point? Do I buy or do I sell? And we talked about how Matic was already up like 300 and some percent, and whether or not it's wise to be investing assets in something that's already gone up 300 and some percent. And it was just a few hours later, just a few short hours later, that basically we did a complete reversion to the mean on this. And in the mean in this case, it was a horizontal mean and not a mean based on moving averages or anything like that. So I want to discuss what happened yesterday. I want to discuss some of the signs that we saw, and I actually already discussed some of these signs on the video yesterday. I was taking a look at order books. I was taking a look at absorption in the market, and when we were up at 560, 550, 560 satoshis yesterday, it was clear that there was absorption, or really in this case distribution was happening. And I was discussing distribution during that video yesterday, basically to say that there was plenty of buying orders that were occurring at right around 550 satoshis, and now we're talking about tens of bitcoins at a time that were being market bought or market sold at that price point, mixed in with a buy wall that randomly started appearing at 650 satoshis, which we never got to. We never got to. That, in my estimation or my guesstimation, was the target that whoever it was trying to distribute to the market, was trying to get bits filled, and I think that was in the order of about I think it was 85 Bitcoin that was set to sell at 650 satoshis, and it never hit. But nonetheless, what we saw was at 555 satoshis, there was 20 Bitcoin bought, and then about an hour later, another 11 Bitcoin bought at 550, and then we have another 15 Bitcoin bought at 560. 562 was 24 Bitcoin. 565 was 10 Bitcoin, and it just continued, but the price never continued to the upside. The price just stayed stagnant. And when you have hundreds of Bitcoin that are buying, but the price isn't moving, that needs to be your indication that there is some distribution going on. And we were also talking about all of our stochastics that were completely overbought. Oh, completely overbought. The 12-hour was overbought since all the way back here at 340 satoshis, and as the price continued to move up, our Stokes were just completely overbought. So the signs were there to get out a long time ago, but what a lot of people do fail to realize is when they need to exit a trade. I historically have been known to exit a trade too early. Honestly, I probably would have gotten out right here on 400, but as the price was up here, the signs were very clear that there was distribution going on. And sure, I completely agree that there is manipulation that's going on in the market, but you could see it happening. You could see it happening up here, and I'm not talking about to the retail eye. I'm talking about to people that pay attention to buy walls and sell walls, and I'll talk a little bit about buy walls and sell walls here in just a moment. But to the naked eye, you're looking at this and you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, you know what it looks like? It looks like we have this trend line here, and we've broken above it, and so now we're doing a bullish consolidation, and we're trying to push through this resistance level right here, and this is at about 565, and it looks like we're trying to push to the upside. So we look like we're trying to push up. And well, we tried 1, 2, 3 times to break through 565, and it never happened. And then, of course, we rolled over, and the rest is history. So we know that we started bleeding, and then all of a sudden, massive sell-off, stop losses got triggered, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, let me talk a little bit about the sell wall that appeared at 650 satoshis. It was about a 90 Bitcoin sell wall that appeared at 650 satoshis. Now, if the walls appear close to the price action, and I'm talking, within 5 or 10 satoshis from the price action, that usually is an indicator that price is going to continue in the direction that the wall is mounted. So if it is a buy wall that's right at price action, I would say probably 8 times out of 10, that price is going to continue moving in that direction. Now, if the wall is far from the price action, then that is typically a distribution point that a seller or a buyer, depending on what direction the wall is mounted, that's usually an indication that distribution or accumulation is going to be occurring. In this case, there was a distribution that was attempted to take place at 650 satoshis, but the price never got there. There was lots of absorption that was happening here at 560 satoshis, and eventually rolled over and went to the downside. Likewise, if there is a buy wall that happens, further in the order book, and I take a look at this for Bitcoin all the time. If I see a rogue order that is deep in the order book, then I tend to believe that the price is going to gravitate to that order and eventually move in the opposite direction. Bitcoin does tend to be more manipulated than Matic would be, but not in as extreme of a way. I'm talking in terms of if there's a large order deep in the order book, the price does tend to gravitate to that order and then wick off of it and move in the opposite direction. Trading off of order books is very risky. And I don't necessarily do it all the time, but I do like to take a look at the order books to see where these orders might be occurring. But nonetheless, the sell order at 650 satoshis was an indication that there is distribution that is trying to be occurring, and it was occurring at about 560 satoshis. So the price didn't get up to where that order was, but there was definite signs of distribution happening here, and all of that massive sell-off, stop losses, so on and so forth, taking place, and eventually getting all the way back down to about 150 satoshis. It was crazy. So anyway, yeah, I mean, this is what we've got. We've got the price, came up here. We saw the distribution happening. I did a video yesterday again discussing the distribution and then the rollover and the sell-off eventually to this point where we came all the way back down. So yeah, that's what we've got here. I really wanted to just discuss the order book manipulation. I wanted to discuss the potential that distribution was happening up here that did prove to be true, and the price rolled over. So if you took a look at that video yesterday, you saw this warning, I suppose. It was just my opinion that there was distribution happening, and I guess the next question is, should I buy into Matic? I would say no. I would say at this point the bounce here at 150 happened, and we are starting to consolidate up here. I wouldn't consider doing a buy in Matic unless we can push up above this level. And even then, I really don't know that I would participate in any of this. We're inside of this trading zone right here, and until we move in one direction, I would say just don't touch it at this point. I would take a look at something else. If you're interested in the crypto space, I would wait for for things to kind of level off and wait to see what Bitcoin's going to do, because Bitcoin doesn't look the greatest right now either. And so, yeah, that's what I've got for you right now. If you do have any questions, feel free to pop in the Discord, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have there. If you need an invite to the Discord, go ahead and throw in a comment here in the chat or in the video comment, and I'll get an invite out to you. Otherwise, wherever you are in the world, hopefully you're having a good day, good night, and good evening.